And now the news, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban is on a self-proclaimed Ukraine peace mission since Hungary assumed the EU's rotating presidency at the start of this month. In the past several days, he has been engaged in hectic parleys. In the latest, he made a surprise visit to Beijing. Orban's surprise visit to China follows recent trips to Russia and Ukraine to discuss peace prospects during the war. Orban dubbed his visit Peace Mission 3.0 in one of his social media platforms. He was greeted in Beijing by Chinese Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs and other officials. Chinese state broadcaster CCTV reported that Orban met with Chinese President Xi Jinping. In another social media post on Facebook, Orban stated that ending the war in Ukraine depends not only on Russia and Ukraine, but also on decisions by the United States, the European Union, as well as China. The string of important state visits have raised several questions. As mentioned earlier, his unannounced visit followed recent trips to Moscow and Kiev, where he suggested Ukraine consider an immediate ceasefire with Russia. His Moscow visit drew criticism from Kiev and European leaders. Orban noted that the number of countries able to communicate with both warring sides is shrinking, positioning Hungary as potentially the only European nation capable of engaging with all parties. Amid the frenzy over his visit to Moscow, Orban had also launched a scathing attack on NATO. He said that NATO is pursuing war, not peace. Unexpectedly, this comment irked the European Union and NATO allies. Russian President Vladimir Putin has suggested that Orban's visit to Moscow was in his capacity as a top representative of the European Council. However, that claim was dismissed by several top European officials who stated Orban had no mandate beyond discussing bilateral relations. The Hungarian Prime Minister is expected to head to Washington next for the three-day NATO summit, which will mark the military alliance's 75th anniversary. The issue of providing further aid to Ukraine is expected to be on top of the agenda at the summit. On being asked about his latest state visit, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg had earlier said, and I'm quoting, "I expect when Viktor Orban is in Washington at the NATO summit next week, there will be opportunities to discuss and address the discussions he had in Moscow." For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.